Wow, it looks beautiful.
It was adventurous.
Millions of years ago.
And the Gobi, water is precious.
Horse racing.
Oh, it's excellent.
And the Gobi.
A beautiful sunset.
If you can see this cliff.
The MNB World team is on a 5-day tour to explore the beauty of the Gobi. In the previous episode of our program, we showed our viewers the magnificent landscapes of Ikhkazrin Cholo and Tsagan Sorok, which are two wonderful natural formations in Dondra province. After visiting the White Stupa and staying at the Tsagan Sorok tourist camp for a night, we went to see the rock paintings at Del Mountain. On the way to our destination, we stumbled upon a vulture chick, actually a fledgling. We approached the bird, but it didn't try to get away. We weren't sure why, but we thought the young bird was just learning to fly. Luckily, we had the chance to get up close to film it. Look at its beak and eyes. Next to the vulture, there was a tree with a nest in it. It was clear that the bird had just left the nest. For a young bird, there is a long way to go to learn to fly, find food, and survive in these desert conditions. We continued our journey and came across a herder watering his animals at a well. Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, how are you doing?
How is the summer going?
Not so good this year.
That is because of the dry weather and lack of rain, right?
Yes, it hasn't rained recently and there isn't enough water for the animals and plants.
How often do you water your animals?
When the weather isn't so dry and hot, we water our livestock every other day. But now we have to do it every day.
What kind of animals do you have?
The 5 animals: sheep, goats, horses, cattle and camels.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to get some water. Whales here are extremely rare, but these ones are super rare. It's mineral water. It's hard to find in the Gobi, but it's super healthy for you.
Can I drink right now?
Yeah. Right?
Wow, it's very cold and fresh.
Yeah,
Fresh
very
water.
fresh.
And the Gobi, water is precious,
Precious,
very valuable.
Yeah. You know, it's hard to find unsalty water here. Water is very salty, but here in the rocky areas, you can find pure water. But wells are far from each other at least 50 kilometers.
At least 15 kilometers.
Yeah, at least 50 kilometers. Okay. Whenever you find a well, you should fill up all your bottles. You
Sure.
never know when you find another
Sure.
one.
Wow.
The goats don't care, but sheep, they don't like to be near it. Humans. Yeah.
Thank you guys. Sorry.
Okay, thanks guys.
Sorry for bothering you.
After driving for about 14 minutes, we arrived at Del Mountain. It is about 30 kilometers from the White Stupa. The Del Mountain area stretches over 20 kilometers from west to east. There are about 30,000 rock engravings of animals, human figures, and symbols that were engraved in different historical periods.
Wild goats.
Most of them date back to the Bronze Age and the early Iron Age.
Wild sheep. And here's something you call it, I think it's a tool, maybe wheels, maybe? Yeah. But here's a female one without horns.
Wow.
Yeah, only the head, the feet, body, but no horns. Yeah. This one's all male. Here's a female one. Yeah.
Now, are there any mountain sheep around here?
Yeah, you can see if you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky enough. It's very rare now. So sometimes you can see them running on top of the mountains. Yeah. If you're lucky. Yeah.
Okay.
You can see people used to hunt using bow and arrows. Yeah, bow and arrows. And it also shows that males used to hunt, as you can see between the legs. Yeah. And here's a wolf. I don't know if it's hunting the wolves or maybe the wolves helping the person hunt the wild goats. Here it looks like horse racing. Yeah, here's some hunting pictures. So I think it just shows that people used to live one day, just goes around like this. It's like a one big picture of one day. And it also shows that in 2000 BC, people used to have this Mongolian Natam, maybe.
Maybe celebrating something.
Celebrating something, horse racing. Yeah. As you can see, there are small horses here, and there's one big horse. Maybe this one's getting first place, maybe. You know, they look strong, two of them, and the three of them. So maybe this one, maybe representing wrestling.
Wrestling.
Yeah, wrestling maybe.
Is it a protected area?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Yeah, we're looking into it. We're contacting the province's leaders, and soon we're gonna have it protected. We have to, because if we don't, some people come here, just write something on the rocks. It's damaging the properties, so we have to protect it. Just like the Tanshora we've seen.
Yeah, it should be protected very soon.
Very soon. And also, these rocks are actually very fragile.
Fragile.
Yeah. If earthquakes come, you know, as you can see, it's shaped like this. So if it cracks, it's all gonna go down.
Yeah, we should protect and preserve.
Preserve, yeah. It's very fragile.
The rock engravings are messages from the ancient people who lived in Mongolian territory from 3000 to 2000 BC. What makes Del Mountain unique are these layers of rock. These vertically formed rock layers look like sheets of paper or book pages. The next place on our itinerary was Yolinga. It's a beautiful canyon in the Gobi area. We stayed at Tungne tourist camp near our destination. The hostess of the camp welcomed us and offered us jimbi for dinner, roasted bone-in mutton.
I'm so excited to have jimbi for dinner for the first time. So, Baza, what is jimbi?
First time.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, jimbi is the traditional food of the Gobi. Not Mongolia, the Gobi. Yeah, because the meats in Gobi and the other places are different. Because as we've seen so far, the grass in the Gobi is smaller, but it sucks up all the nutritions from the ground, from the earth. So it's packed with nutritions. And the sheep here eat those, and their meat becomes so tasty, so juicy. It's a different story. Yeah. So to make it even more tasty, we don't use water in here. We don't use water to cook the jimbi. We fry it first, so then the juice comes out. Yeah.
That's the difference between jimbi
And horhog. Yeah. Horhog has rocks, but no, we don't use water. We just boil it in its own juice. Yeah. And we put vegetables like carrot and potatoes in it. Say other vegetables crumble. So carrots and potatoes are the best choice. Sometimes cabbage is good.
It smells so good.
Yeah.
How long do I have to wait?
1 hour and 20 minutes. 1 hour and 20 minutes and we can eat this delicacy. Yeah, it's mouth-watering actually.
The next morning, we headed to the northern part of Yolinga. It's known as Mokhorshivert. This beautiful canyon is in the Gobi National Park. This national park is at the end of the Altai mountain range and became a protected area in 1965. There are many unique formations in the national park, and Mohorsivert is one of its most beautiful places. At the entrance of the park, we left our car behind and went hiking. Our goal was to find ice in the gorge. We were afraid that there might not be any ice. In recent years, the ice fields there have been disappearing in the summer. After walking for about 20 minutes, we arrived at the end of the gorge. We were in luck. There was a field covered with thick ice. We enjoyed the view, the sound of the small waterfall, bird songs, and the sense of calm there. It was quite peaceful.
Although it's Gobi and also it's summer, there is some ice field.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
thick ices. Because this is a very high ground above sea level. It's 2,800 meters above ground. It's the coldest place in the Gobi. And also, in this high cliffs, sun doesn't reach. Mr. Sun doesn't come to visit it. So there's thick ices all year. All year.
We tried some water from the waterfall. It was drinkable, pure and fresh. If you come here in winter, you'll see an impressive frozen waterfall. In most winters, it's suitable for ice climbing. The valley was busy with Mongolian travelers visiting this beautiful place. On our way back to the entrance of the gorge, we found some berries. We tried some, but they weren't ripe yet. After enjoying the scenery and calm in Mohorsivert Valley, we went back to Dungne and interviewed Mrs. Tixjargal, the hostess of the camp.
Монголын говьд ирсэн жуулчин. За ялангуяа
What can tourists see when they come to the Gobi, especially in Gorvansachen National Park?
гадны жуулчдэр нь юу үзэж харж аялж болох вэ?
Foreign tourists are very curious about the ice in the Gobi while the temperature is over 30 degrees Celsius. It might sound incredible, but you can find ice at the bottom of the canyon even when the weather is hot. Travelers are also interested in the animals and plants in the Gobi. They usually ask if there are any animals or plants in the Gobi. Of course, there are many kinds of animals and plants that have adapted to the environment and conditions. Also, people who observe rare animals and study medicinal plants come to the Gobi. The number of special interest travelers is increasing. In addition, many people come to the Gobi to watch the stars at night. An endless steppe, a clear sky full of bright stars, and a peaceful environment make you feel fantastic.
Please tell us about your tourist camp.
Our camp is located 33 kilometers from Dalanzadgat, the central town of Gobi province. We have the capacity to host over 100 people at the same time. We offer travelers comfortable accommodations and a variety of delicious food. I've been working in tourism for 5 years. I consider myself to be very lucky in choosing tourism. My job gives me the opportunity to meet many people from different countries. Meeting new people lets me explore new ideas, different cultures, and interesting perspectives. It coincides with my desire to promote and show off our country, especially the Gobi, to foreign arrivals.
What would you say about the development of Mongolia's tourism industry?
Tourism is a relatively young and promising sector in our country. Mongolia has plenty of advantages. We have beautiful nature, wonderful traditions and culture. We have many things to show the world. On the other hand, Mongolia needs proper policy to develop the industry. The lack of government policy to develop tourism in the country results in bad management and poor infrastructure. But I'm quite positive about the future. The number of tourists coming to Mongolia had been increasing every year until 2020.
When their horns get too big and they get old, they don't have any power to lift their head. So that's why they're left after their herd and how they die. Sad.
After saying goodbye to the gracious staff at Dungne tourist camp, we headed towards Yolinga. The valley is named after a bird of prey, the bearded vulture. Yolinga actually means the gorge of bearded vultures.
Yolinga,
Yeah, we're here at the Yolinga.
great tourist destinations in the Mongolian Gobi.
Yep.
Look at these rocky walls. They are magnificent. Aside from this beautiful scenery, the picturesque landscape, and the magnificent gorge, you can see rare animals like ibex, wild mountain sheep, and bearded vultures if you're lucky. Snow leopards and other predators also live in this area.
What a nice day.
Oh, thank you.
Why are you wearing a Dell today?
Because it's very comfy. Yeah, it supports me actually. You see this belt? When you wear a belt, it just like feels very, supportive. It's supportive, it supports my back, so it's very comfy to walk. Yeah. This is the traditional Mongolian clothing, made for herders actually.
We met a foreign traveler on a trip to Yolinga.
Oh, it's excellent. Yes, I've had a wonderful summer in Mongolia. Yeah, this is my third trip actually.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's great.
Where are you from?
I'm from Canada. Yeah, but I live and work in Ulaanbaatar now. Yeah. Usually in the summer I go home to Canada, and this year because of the COVID I haven't been able to, but it's been great. I did a trip to Hovskull, to the taiga to see the reindeer people. I did a cycling trip, 9 days in central Mongolia, and now South Gobi. So I've been able to see so much, and it's beautiful. Mongolia is so beautiful.
Before leaving the canyon, we visited the small museum on the road to Yolinga. This natural history museum has a collection of dinosaur eggs and bones, and taxidermy animals, including a snow leopard, ibex, wild mountain sheep, antelope, and many kinds of birds.
It's time to say goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Beautiful valley, gorge of vulture.
Yep.
Now we're heading off to our next destination. It will be Hunger Sand Dunes.
Yeah, Hunger Sand Dunes.
So how many times have you been to Hunger Sand Dunes before?
I've been there 2 times before. It's a great experience. Beautiful sand dunes, great nature. Must-see place of the Gobi. Bye-bye, Yolinga, and here we go, Hunger Sand Dunes.
Wow, it looks beautiful. It was adventurous. Millions of years ago. And the Gobi, water is precious.
Horse racing.
Oh, it's excellent.
And the Gobi. A beautiful sunset.
If you can see this cliff,